Hi, good evening, everybody. My name's Rebecca Willows. You can all call me Bex. And I'm back again on this Black Friday business bonanza with the incredible Anastasia Surmava. Sorry, it's a mouthful. And
Hi, I missed your face.
it's so good to see you as well. It's so nice to see Anastasia again. We've known each other for a few years, and she's been flitting around the world doing awesome stuff. And I've been watching her in the background. And over the last couple of years, Anastasia, you've just blossomed into this incredible businesswoman and
Thank
a
you.
super boss babe. And we're all really proud of you. We really are. It's nice to see
Thank you.
somebody really living out their dreams. So can you
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about what you've been up to? I know you've got a yoga studio and cafe, and what else have you been up to?
yeah. So after I left the BVI, I had some gigs on some like bigger yachts, some super yachts. Actually, I did the show Below Deck Mediterranean, and then once I was done filming that, I actually had an opportunity to go to Sri Lanka and build a cafe and yoga studio, which was really cool. But obviously, since COVID and everything, I haven't been able to get back there, and there's not really any tourism, so there's no point of really opening this season. So I've just been home for the summer, and my co-star on the show came to me with this idea to open this online yachting school because there's really nothing else like it. There's some little training things here and there, but there's not like a very good online platform for how to get into yachting and all the nitty gritty
Yeah.
stuff that people don't really talk about, like the true side of yachting, all the terrible things that you're going to have to deal with and the time away from home and just, the long hours and everything. So people need to really understand what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah,
So that's
all
kind
those
of
things that
what
we don't talk about.
well, exactly. I mean, there's this, beautiful silk veil over the yachting industry, and people don't talk about all of the things that can happen. So I
Hmm.
think it's really important for aspiring yachties and green crew to really understand the industry and what they're getting into before, dumping all this money into getting their certs and flying to Florida or wherever they want to go. And so, yeah, that's kind of the premise of our business. We've been in business for, I think, about 3.5 months now. We have over 250 students, which is amazing. So we've seen a lot of like really great success in the first few months, and just so grateful. And I don't think it would have happened if COVID wasn't a thing. So there's
Yeah.
silver
It
lining.
has been quite amazing. I think
Yeah,
there's quite a few of us that are in the online business world who are actually, and I don't mean to sound dark and ugly, but we're actually really grateful for this COVID experience because it has opened up this whole other
yeah,
world to us that we didn't even know existed. And I know
absolutely.
personally, I've gained so much knowledge and skills and all sorts of things going into this world. What do you think your biggest lesson that you've learned about working online has been?
Oh man, I mean, just pull from everyone. I mean, that you can learn something from everybody, even if somebody hasn't been in the industry as long as you, or they've been longer, or whatever. Just be open because the online world is a beast, and there are so many little tips and tricks, and I have learned so much in the last 3 months. I did not know how to do 90% of this stuff before. And
Mhm.
I mean, it is just perseverance and keeping an open mind and really pulling from others around you. Like, don't be afraid to ask for help because,
I love that. I think
yeah,
that the online community is so important. You really do have to keep in touch with
yeah,
people who've just gone that one little step ahead of you, who've just,
exactly.
even if they've done something only once before, they've done it before you have. So yeah,
Yeah,
I think having
there's
mentors and people that you can learn from is really, really
for
cool.
sure. I've learned things by accident. Like I like have clicked something. I'm like, oh shit, this is how you do this. I had no idea. And then I'll share that with my business partner, and then because I have, we actually, I don't know if you remember Annika. So
Hmm.
she used to work for the mornings as well, and she just started her online brand. And she, her and I have had so many little discussions. She's like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And then I'll ask her, I'm like, how did you do that on your website? So it's just nice to be able to have people around you who, can help, even if they're new to the industry as well.
So important, so
Yeah.
important. Yeah, that 'cause that sense of community I find it's not just so important, but it's out there.
Yeah.
People are always willing to help, and getting into online business, there is always somebody that you can call on. It's
Yeah.
so super cool. I mean, I can call on you, you can call on me, I can call on somebody who's been in this industry for 20 years and they're still going to be willing to help me, which
Yeah,
I find has
absolutely.
been really cool. Because I think in the bricks and mortar business, it's kind of like a dog eat dog world. Like, and when you ask for help from someone above you, they don't really want to give it to you in case
Yeah.
you take their position.
Yeah,
Whereas
exactly.
with the complete opposite, it's like, yeah, please let me give you a hand up, because we're all working for ourselves essentially. So we're not going to be taking anybody else's position away from them. And I think that's really, really cool as well.
I like that. I also like how your success is completely dependent on how hard you work. Because, like you just said, we work for ourselves. So,
Perfect.
if we're not grinding every day, sitting at our laptops doing our thing, like our businesses are not going to go anywhere. So, it's cool to see your hard work come to fruition and just be like, wow, I actually did that. And, I have real students now who are leaving their hometowns, who they never thought they would even have a passport. They're got their SCCW and they're moving down to Florida. Like, it's amazing.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
That impact on people's lives is just incredible. I mean, every
Yeah.
single day you're having an impact on somebody's life, and you've never even
Yeah.
met them before face to face. And that is super,
Crazy.
super cool.
It's
The
crazy.
reach that we have is just incredible. I was just doing an interview with a gentleman earlier, Tarek, and he's in France. I'm
Yeah.
talking to you today. You're in Vermont. I'm going to be speaking to somebody tomorrow in Australia. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just brought the world so much closer.
It
It's
really
super awesome.
has. Yeah.
And you got any tips and tricks up your sleeves? I mean, all your Insta posts are obviously absolutely mind blowing, and I'm sure that you've learned tricks and tips and little
Yeah.
silly things along the way. Well, what do
Well,
you find gets the most reach?
well, for me, I mean, the way that I've built my brand is built on, being in reality TV, being real. And I've always found that even before I had, that as a platform, I think that being my most authentic self and being really true and transparent with my friends, my family, my followers, whoever it is, generally gets the most, interaction, and it's just kind of taken on the best. Like, I feel like if I try and be something that I'm not, people see right through that. So, I
Yeah,
mean, when I post things, like, I don't redo stories. I don't like remake stuff. Like, it is the first take and it is out on the internet for everybody to see. And that's what people like. They like to see me being my truest self. And I have really terrible days and I have really funny moments and embarrassing moments and I have great moments, and I share all of that. And I think people really resonate with that I'm just very transparent. And it's not easy to put yourself out there like that. I mean, there are so many trolls who want to tear you down. And as soon as you block them, they will make another account and they will come at another angle. You just have to learn how to just let it slide. I mean, those people are just projecting their own insecurity onto you, and it's up to you to either absorb it or deflect it and say, hey, I'm not going to actually let that affect me today. Which was really hard for me to do at first, but now I just laugh. I'm like, okay, you think I'm dumb? Guess what? Blocked. Like, I don't care. Yeah, it's just
I
it's
think
just about being true.
one of the biggest things I've learned as well on that note is having the trolls and the haters and the everything. I mean, they are out there, but I find that it actually it's increased my confidence so much having the haters and the trolls, because
Yeah.
you do get to that point where you're like, I really don't care what you think of me or
Yeah,
what you say, because I know that I'm a fabulous person and I'm
exactly.
okay with it. So yeah, I think
Exactly.
the inner that you do in this industry is huge, because you do have to really learn how to love yourself, because you are
Absolutely.
showing everybody the real you. Like you
Yeah.
said, authenticity is key. And when you show everybody who you are and you get really raw and vulnerable, you have to do the work, because
Yeah.
otherwise you just fall apart.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's not, I mean, that's a lot easier said than done, It's, you'd think it'd be that easy to just kind of put something up there and be like, hey, this is me. But you know, there's definitely times where I look back on posts and stuff and I'm just like, oh my God, like this, look at this part of my body I didn't like, or this. And I'm just like, you know what? No one is looking at that. Literally, no one is looking at that. Like, just put it out there and people are going to appreciate you for being you. And I mean,
I love that.
that's hard to grasp sometimes, but it's definitely what works the best for me.
Oh, fantastic. And do you use any specific programs or apps or anything do you enhance your pictures? Do you have
Yeah.
a professional photographer? Do you just click away yourself? What do you
I
do?
mean, most of my photos are taken on my iPhone. Like, I am not very good. Like, I don't Facetune my photos. I don't like augment my body or whatever. But like, I will do Lightroom and VSCO. So sometimes I'll put a photo into VSCO, get like the right filter that I like, and then I'll put it into Lightroom and edit it from there. But I don't really do much, kind of because I'm lazy. And I usually just try and take like a great photo with natural lighting and just try and make it again as authentic as I can. So I don't really like to edit too much, mostly because I'm lazy. So I'll usually
Well,
just try and get like a good shot with natural light and then just do a little bit of, exposure and whatever in Lightroom, and that's kind of it.
well, that's absolutely wonderful because I think a lot of people are really focused on getting this perfect picture,
Yeah.
but it also, you have to tie it back to that authenticity again. You
100%.
are a real person, so you do need to also focus on coming across as a real person. But
Exactly.
all that being said, there are things that you do need to use. Lightroom's great. What was
Yep.
the other one you called? What was the other one you said?
It's VSCO, Visco, I
Yes.
think.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. I
I'll have
love
a
it.
look for that.
They
That's
have
a
the
great
best
one.
filters. Yeah.
Right. You
But
gotta love a good filter. When it's like a miserable day or something outside, you're like, oh, come on, man. We
put a
need a little
filter
bit more
on
light here.
it. Exactly. But I
Oh,
do
that's
I do
great.
have friends who take incredible photos with their DSLRs and their, crazy
Mhm,
fancy cameras, who do put a lot of effort into editing. But they're usually using Photoshop and Lightroom together. And
mhm.
I mean, their photos are insane. It's the kind of photo you look at and you're like, holy shit, like I want to go to that place. My photos are more like, hey, this is me in Mexico with the Corona. Enjoy. Or like my food pictures. And I also do like to make little videos, little cooking videos. And I use this app
Mhm.
called Splice, which is
Yeah.
so easy to use. Again, I just film it all on my iPhone. I just have a little stand and I use Splice, and it's just like it's so user friendly and it's perfect for making like quick little videos. So I like to use
Oh,
that.
that's an awesome tip. Thanks so much. I'm going to
Yeah.
be really mindful of your time. Thank you so much for coming on. I know that I've gained a lot of insight, and it's been so good chatting with you. Thank you, thank you,
Oh,
thank you
I
for
miss
coming
you
on,
guys. I hope I get to
guys.
come and see you
We miss
soon.
you too. We miss you too. We'll see you soon. And for those of you watching, guys, I'm sure you've gained loads of value from Anastasia. She's been an awesome person to have on tonight. And I'll see you again tomorrow morning. And we're going to be talking more about Black Friday Business Bonanza. Have a wonderful evening. Chat to you soon. Bye.
Bye. I don't know how to get out of this.